Okay, everything is up and pretty much in tune, and now I got to dig out an action gauge, because usually I just use a 1.5 mil feeler to get things around where I want them. So I got to dig up an actual action gauge to measure this, and then take it from there. Okay, got the action gauge. Going to be using the mill side here. Get a reading on number 1 string, number 6 string, figure out where I'm at, then loosen it up, take it apart, measure the shim, see where I'm at, and figure out how much more shim to add. Okay, action's actually so high, it was off the scale here, and I had to switch over to this thing. But we've got 5 millimeters on the base side and 3 millimeters on the treble side. So, time to take it apart. Oh, I've now got it hooked up so that I can easily turn the fan off so that there's no more wind tunnel action and you can actually hear what I'm saying. Okay, first thing I'm going to do while I have it apart here is I'm going to take these out one more size larger. Get a little bit more wiggle room. Okay, so they've now been enlarged 2 times, and they're now at 3/8 inch diameter. Okay, time to pop this shim off. Okay, the shim's off, and we're reading 2.3 mil. Okay, so action's 3 millimeters on the treble side and 5 millimeters on the base side, and we got 2.3 millimeters worth of neck shim in it already. And we're shooting for about 1.5 millimeters on both the base and treble sides. So on the treble side, we need to add about 1.5 mil, or we need to bring up the 24th fret by about 1.5 mil in order to get us at 1.5 mil of action. And on the base side, we need to bring up the 24th fret by 3.5 mil. So that means if we're assuming that we're just going to add that much to the existing amount of shim, that means we need 3.8 mil on the treble side and 5.8 mil on the base side, approximately. So I'm going to shoot for that. And I probably do not want to go any higher than these numbers, because that would kick up the end of the neck too much, and then you would get buzz. Well, no, wait, hold on, let me think. If they're not high enough, then my action will still be too high with the saddles all the way down. The saddles are all the way down right now, so if they're a little too high, then I won't have enough action, and I might get buzz, but I can always raise the saddles a bit. I probably got at least 3 millimeters worth of adjustment height-wise that these saddles will do. Maybe even more, maybe 4 or 5 even. So, but anyway, yeah, let's see how it goes. So as you can see here, I have a number of different thickness shim materials that I can work with. You've got down at the bottom end, you've got a Coke can that clocks in at 1/10 of a mil, or perhaps even less. And then once you get up to here with the maple laminate, that's about 1 mil at that point. That's like about a 0.3 mil brass, like 0.6 mil aluminum, 1 mil maple. It's like a 1.9, I think, or something, or 1.7, something like that, in a black single ply pick guard material. This is a 3-ply or 2-ply or something like that pick guard material, and this one clocks in at about 2.3 mil. And then this is 1/4 inch ply, which clocks in at about 5 mil. So if you take a piece of the thick pickguard stuff and you add a piece of the maple laminate, that comes out to about 3.8 mil. And if you take a piece of 1/4 inch ply and add a bit of brass, that works out to about 5.8 mil, at least for these two pieces. So I think I'm going to go with something like that, kind of like, you know, cut them to size and perhaps squirt them black or something just so that they look nicer, and then glue it all up. Okay, I cut them and I glued them up. That's the treble side, that's the base. And I measured them, and this guy is supposed to be 3/8. It came out to 4. It's supposed to be 5/8, but it's only clocking in at 5/4. So I think I need to give it another piece of brass. That's looking a little better. Well, there it is. It's a fair amount of shim actually, but I guess we're gonna see what happens here. Okay, well, it's way too much. Yeah, the strings come up like this and then they go and come over the bridge. Yeah, it's way too much of a neck break angle here. So obviously it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's probably more of a, let me get this thing to stand up here. It's probably more of a thing having to do with similar triangles between, like, the triangle formed by the fret plane, the action height at the 24th, and the strings. So that would be one right triangle, with this being the 90 degree. And then your second right triangle would be down here, where it's the back of the heel. It's the point straight down from where the shims contact the neck, and it's the bottom of the neck is your second triangle. And then it's like, you know, if you want to move this one by this much, you got to move this one by that much based on their relative sizes. But obviously it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. If I want 1.5 mil here, I don't go 1.5 mil here and get it. So I'm going to have to back off, obviously. And let's see, I was at 2.3, and I went up as high as, I added 1.5 to the treble side, and that alone was too much. So I guess maybe what I'll do is I'll try to sneak up on it. I was at 2.3, so I'll try something that's around 3, because the treble's now at close to 4. So maybe I'll try something around 3, and then something around 4, and, you know, figure it out that way. Okay, that's 3 mil there. Let's see what happens. Looks like it's going to be either just right or just a little too much. There's just about zero action with these things kind of tight. So I think I'll go ahead and tune it up and see what it looks like. And of course the saddles are down all the way, and I've got as much as 3, 4, maybe 5 mil that I can raise them. So obviously it's probably within adjustment range now. So I think we'll go ahead and tune it up, and then see if I need to raise any saddles. With any luck, I tune it up and the action might come up just a smidge, or it might come up, you know, to about 1 mil. That'd be real nice if the action came up across the board to 1 mil, and I could just raise the center saddles in order to get the proper radius going. Okay. This guy is the one that's everything. I'm trying to get stuff up to tune, and I got like 2 or 3 of them are actually ringing now without buzzing and stuff, despite the action being at like 0 still, and I haven't raised the saddles. But then I started trying to get this guy in the zone, action-wise, and you know, right here I'm at insane. You know, where are my X-ray specs here? Get the 4-to-1 mags going on, and see what this thing actually looks like. Oh yeah, I'm probably less than half a mil action right now, and it rings out. See, but I've already got 2 full turns on the screws after they made contact with the base plate here. So I'm thinking it's probably a little too much shim, and based on the numbers of where I started and how much action I had, my first guess would be that it's about a 4-to-1 ratio between how much you put in here and how much difference it makes here. So 3 is a bit too much and 2.3 is not enough, and I want to drop it by 1.5, so let me go pull up a calculator. So we're at 3 mil right now, and the fret plane with the saddles all the way down is pretty much right on the frets, so the action is more or less 0. And we want our action to be more around 1.5 mil, and I'm guessing that it's about a 4-to-1 ratio between how much you put in here and how much it takes out there. So if we want to put in 1.5 mil here, then we want to take out 1/4 of 1.5 mil here, which would be 0.375 mil, and we've already got 3 mils, so we want to take almost 4 mil, 0.4 mil off of 3 mil, so we're down to like 2.6 or so, something like that, and we were at 2.3. So yeah, maybe like a 2.7 mil instead of a 3 might be better. Yeah, well, let's see, we started at 2.3 and that was low. That gave us about 3 mil action. We wanted about half that. We went to 3 mil and that gave us like 0 action. So if we split the difference, theoretically that should give us our 1.5 mil that we're shooting for. So that would be a 2.3 and half be 3.5. 2.3 and 3.5 would be 2.65. Might be the ideal shim thickness. So I think I'm going to take a little shim out and shoot for like 2.65. Yeah, so here we are gathering up data points so we can slowly plot the relationship curve between the amount of shim here and the action that you get at the 24th. We started with 2.3 mil. That was getting us action in the 3 to 5 mil range. We're hoping that 2.65 will get us the ideal or target general range of 1.5 mil. Might want to go lower than that, really. Something like this, you can, with these Steinbergers, you can get some pretty high degree of accuracy. And so, yeah, you'd probably get away with 1 mil on a Steinberger. Let's see. Right now it's at a 3, which gives you an action of about 0. And then we kicked it up at first to a shim anywhere from 4.2 to 5.8. And that actually threw the action negative. It kicked the neck back so far. So, yeah. So yeah, so now I need to like do it again at like around 2.65. And this time, while I have it apart, I think I'm going to give it each hole shot of toothpick dipped in super glue, just because I've been screwing the screws in and out so much. I don't want to keep everything nice and tight. Okay, shim's at about 2.6. I sanded it down, and action's now looking a little on the high side, probably around 2 mil at least. So, I guess I'm going to try again for something like 2.8, 2.9, since 3 seemed a little high. Action's 2 1/4, action's about 1. I think a little more shim on this side. Well, that little bit in there didn't seem to do much of anything. I'm still 2 1/4 on this side and 1 on this side. Guess I'll try a little more on the base side. Okay, now we got it. We got 0.05 on this side. Hold on, wait. No, we got 0.05 on this side and we got 0.03 on this side for action. So it's slammed super down. It's got 2 shims on the base side, and we're running it approximately 2.9. We got the 2.6, and then we slapped on about 0.03 worth of brass, and then we put another 0.03 to 0.06 worth of brass on the right side, but it's kind of hanging off a bit the first time. So yeah, it's looking pretty good here, and this is with the saddles all the way down, so we can take these distances from 0.5 to 0.3, and we can add as much as like 3 mil. So we're way in adjustment range now, finally. Yeah, I mean, we can't get the action any lower than 0.3 to 0.5, but I don't think we want to, really. I mean, you might want to go 0.5 at most, so yeah, and that'll give us adjustment in order to do our radius and everything. It'll be all nice and pretty. So time to twiddle with the Allen wrench and get everything all lined up.